Okay, I am at Dr. Scott's hidden lab here doing some stuff with the swing catalyst plate, and we got a bunch of different tech, but what we were testing today are these things here. So you see as I take it, and on here, this is all like loops Velcro, and then you put the hooks there like that. Like slap one on me, Dr. Scott, so they can kind of see. So this is this thing called LILA. So these are, give me your understanding, Scott.
My
about
understanding
what
is it's on body resistance. So most time if you're getting resisted movements, you have them in your hands, or, you know, and this is actually loading your segments and making them heavier. And so, yeah, they think it's going to be really effective for getting the segments moving faster in golf, so that's what we're testing out.
So yeah, we have them on the forearms, and in total, how many shots did we capture?
We did 5 at the start, and then we did, I think, 6 different conditions. So
Okay.
that's another 30, 35, and then you hit 5 at the end. So I think he hit 40 shots total.
Okay, so here are the shots, Scott, and so tell me about the different, what were you calling it? The different arrangements we did on the arms first for each one. So first we did, you know, like a control where we just...
Control group, which had nothing on it.
Yeah.
Let me just load them up here. I got them right here. One second.
Yeah.
So nothing was our baseline. Then you had 200 milligrams only on your left arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had 100 milligrams on both arms. Then you had 400 milligrams only on your left arm. Then 200 on your right arm. And then bilateral 200, which means both arms. Then 50 on both arms. And then last we finished with 400 on just your right arm. So we had one.
And then again, and then another after one with absolutely
nothing.
nothing.
So I lied. You had 7 conditions, 5 things each, and then a pre and a post. So that's a total of 9 conditions, so you get 45 shots.
And subjectively, just doing it, so sometimes there would be nothing on your arms. Sometimes there would be an imbalance of weight, and sometimes it'd be like pretty heavy, 400, is it?
Sorry,
400 grams. Yeah, 400 grams on just my right arm. So it really made me aware of, because I hit a lot during the test. You hit a lot of like toe shots, shanks, and other things because you're trying to balance that new unusual weight. So let's go, Drew, just cut the science process part pretty quickly. So go to the before, Scott, and go through. We're just going to go from the club head speed.
Sure. So before, you see the club head speed is right down here. So your pre-shots were 89.1 miles per hour.
This is an 8-iron, folks.
88.1 miles per hour, 88.9 miles per hour, 88.2 miles per hour, and 90.9. So
give me a general average for
let's say
the
average,
before.
Probably around 89, I'd say. 88,
Yeah,
89.
just shy of 89, yeah.
Pretty consistent. All of them are kind of there. And then post, you got 92.4, 92.8, 92.8, 90.9, and 90.6. So I'd say that average at maybe 92. And so it's at least
about 2 or 3.
2 or 3 miles an hour faster afterwards, and I think 2.5 yards per mile an hour.
Well, let's go through, because I think if we go through the ball speeds, are the ball speeds also, because that would show us kind of how good the strike was.
Right, because there was one here that you didn't have such a good strike.
No.
Smash factor of 1.02.
Yeah, that was before.
Yeah. So ball speed 91.2.
Yeah.
And then ball speed 115, 108, 114, 111.
This is the before. Now in the after using
118, 118, 118, 117. 114, so much more consistent too, and definitely faster. So
yeah, that's a strong
trend, I would say.
Yeah, but too also because I think you work with a lot of tour players and stuff, like they're not going to be hitting a lot of 8-irons that are like one is 7 miles an hour different.
Because then you won't be able to control the distance, which is super important, right? So being consistent in your ball speed is super important.
Right. All right. So Scott, what will you be looking at as you dig into this data, and then what will you be looking at to additionally test with when we're talking about this?
Well, eventually we want to get into the lab and see how it actually changes like motions of segments, which we can't really measure here. Like
that'd be like on a gears or something.
My 3D motion capture system in the lab. Because of the quarantine, we can't get into the lab right now. So I'm just going to look and see if there's any changes in ground forces. I don't know. I don't really have a hypothesis what would change with with the resistance on the forearms, but. For right now, I want to see how it affects club path, because I mean, if you think if there's a really heavy thing on your right arm, you might alter how you're delivering the club to the ball. It might cause differences in angle of attacks. I don't know. So I'm going to look at all the ball parameters and just the ground forces, just to see as a preliminary study what effects these are. But I think the initial club speed numbers tell us that there's something there.
Yes, something to get into anyway.
There's something definitely that we need to dig into. And where did that increased consistency in strike and more speed come from? I don't really know, but we're going to dig into it and kind of have a look, see what happens.
Yeah, and I think there'll be some kind of synthesis between like science and then like golf teachers, as far as like, okay, say a guy just can't feel the arms in the swing. I could see loading up either arm or the arms in a certain way to get people just kind of like feeling it. And then I could also, what I'd be interested in doing is just like wearing these just in your life, you know, just like going around, just doing your general workout, your general stuff. And also like super speed sticks or whatever else with just like a little extra weight. It is kind of that effect, you know, when you push your arms in the door and then you walk out and your arms kind of float. So you do have that kind of, your arms feel like a little different after using it.
Yeah, and they have things for every single base, that you can load your upper arm, your forearm, your chest, your abs, your quads, your lower legs. So you can load pretty much every segment of your body with these things. They've only sent me the forearm ones just to test out for golf, but apparently there is a lot of good science coming out of this stuff showing that, you know, loading the actual segments is way different than how we traditionally load, which is put something in our hands or...
Yeah, different than just a heavy club or something like that.
Something heavier, like way distally, loading it proximally on the segments. It's definitely a different sensation, so we'll see what it does.
All right, so thanks to Lila for sending that to Scott, and see you later, guys. Bye.